Welcome to the deep dive. We often think of our mind and body as, well, separate entities, don't we?
Totally separate, like one handles the thinking, the other handles the aches and pains.
Exactly. But what if they're not just connected? What if they're so deeply, inextricably linked that your thoughts, your beliefs, are literally shaping your physical health right now?
It's a really profound idea, yeah. And today we're diving deep into exactly that connection, this intricate dance between our mental state and our physical well-being.
And we're drawing from Minding the Body, Mending the Mind, right?
That's right. The insights in this book are guiding our journey. And it's not just theory, it's about practical ways to heal that really challenge how we normally think. It highlights the incredible power we have inside.
So the mission today is?
To distill these really powerful ideas into knowledge you can actually use. Give you a clear shortcut to understanding this crucial link, one that often gets overlooked.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because the book mentions some pretty mind-blowing examples that push the boundaries of, traditional medicine.
It really does.
Things like acupuncture, anesthesia. I mean, complex surgeries with just needles for pain relief.
It sounds incredible, doesn't it? Or those stories, almost miraculous, of spontaneous recovery from terminal illnesses. Doctors are often baffled.
And the placebo effect, of course. We know about that one just believing something can help actually helps reduce pain. How is this even possible? How can a belief, just a mindset, have such a physical effect?
Well, what's fascinating and relatively new is that neuroimaging is finally giving us the scientific proof.
So we can actually see it happening in the brain.
Or we can see how beliefs and expectations directly influence physical sensations, especially pain. It's quite remarkable.
Huh. And what about negative stuff, like stress, anxiety?
Well, that's where it gets really critical. When we're stuck in chronic negative emotions, depression, anxiety, maybe unmanaged anger, they don't just stay in our heads.
Right, you feel it in your body.
Exactly. They trigger a whole cascade of physiological responses. For instance, they can increase something called cytokine production.
Cytokines. What are those again? Like signals?
Yeah, think of them as tiny alarm bells, signaling proteins that can trigger widespread inflammation in the body. And that inflammation, over time, is linked to all sorts of diseases.
Okay, so the core idea is?
The core insight is that your mind isn't just watching your body, it's actively shaping its health right down to the cellular level.
Wow.
It uses this complex web of nerve pathways, neurohormones, brain chemicals, and stress hormones we all know, like cortisol and adrenaline. Your beliefs, they really do start in the mind, but they end up quite literally in your body.
So as you're listening to this, maybe just consider, how might your own daily thoughts, the internal chatter, the expectations you hold, how might they be silently shaping your physical reality?
It really puts a new spin on self-care.
It really does. And speaking of things that shape us, let's talk about stress. We all know that fight or flight response, right?
Yeah.
That primal surge when we sense danger.
Oh, yeah, very familiar.
But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. What if there's an equally powerful active response? A relaxation response. And what if we could actually learn to switch off the stress intentionally?
Precisely. And that's a key point from the source. Our minds and bodies are constantly being, you could say, programmed or conditioned, often totally unconsciously, just by our experiences and how we react.
So we learn these stress patterns.
We do. And recognizing that, then actively changing negative thought patterns is absolutely crucial for cutting down chronic stress. The damage from chronic stress is well documented. We know it's bad.
But the alternative?
The alternative is incredibly empowering. It's about cultivating what the book calls a hardy mindset.
A hardy mindset. Okay, what defines that?
It's got 3 core characteristics. First is commitment. That means really engaging with your life, finding purpose in it.
Okay, commitment. Got it.
Second is control. This is the belief that you can actually influence events in your life, that you're not just a victim of circumstance.
Adding some agency.
Exactly. And the third is challenge. Seeing change and adversity not as terrifying threats, but as opportunities to grow and learn.
That makes me think of that analogy. The bamboo versus the oak tree in a storm.
That's a perfect analogy. The flexible bamboo bends, adapts, survives. The rigid oak resists, tries to control the wind, and snaps.
Or there's another story in the book, right?
Yeah.
About kids at the beach.
Yes. 2 kids building sandcastles. The tide comes in. One girl laughs, adapts, starts playing in the waves, finds new fun.
And the other?
The other boy gets totally frustrated. He rigidly tries to control the inevitable, frantically rebuilding his walls against the tide, just gets angry and upset.
That bamboo analogy and the kids. It really clarifies things. It makes me think about times I've dug my heels in versus times I've managed to adapt. The difference in how I felt, my peace of mind, is
It
huge.
really is night and day.
And sometimes that inability to adapt, that need for rigid control, fuels things like chronic anxiety, doesn't it? Let's look at Roger's story from the book.
Yeah, his case is very illustrative.
All right. He's 27, a division manager. Seems pretty relatable. But he's struggling with high blood pressure and a really intense fear of public speaking.
You see his restlessness, the compulsive multitasking.
Yeah, clear signs of what the book calls a highly reactive sympathetic nervous system, right? That's like your body's stress accelerator, always floored.
Exactly, always on high alert. And for Roger, it creates this vicious feedback loop.
How so?
Well, the anxiety triggers physical symptoms, dry mouth, racing heart, maybe sweaty palms.
Uh-huh, the classic symptoms.
But then those physical symptoms fuel more anxiety, which then makes the physical symptoms even worse. It just spirals.
The self-reinforcing cycle. Nasty.
Yeah.
So how do you break out of something like that?
Roger's situation shows perfectly how thoughts and physical feelings get tangled up and feed each other. The source material strongly advocates for practices like meditation and mindfulness to interrupt that.
Mindfulness, that word gets used a lot. What does it mean in this context?
The book describes it beautifully as meditation in action. It's a be here now kind of mentality. You just observe your thoughts and feelings as they arise and pass, but without judging them or getting swept away.
Okay, like watching clouds drift by.
That's a great way to put it. And for more formal meditation, the steps are pretty straightforward.
Like what?
Find a quiet spot. Get comfortable. Then focus on your breath. Specifically, abdominal breathing, breathing deep into your belly. That itself is like a mini relaxation response.
Ah, so the breathing technique triggers calm.
Instantly. You can use a focus word like calm or one to anchor your attention when your mind wanders, which it will. The real key is regular practice. Even just 10, maybe 20 minutes a day makes a huge difference.
Is it normal to feel weird at first? Like sleepy or even more anxious?
Oh, absolutely common. You might feel restless, drowsy, agitated. The trick is not to judge yourself for it. Just gently notice it and guide your focus back to your breath or your word.
So, no, I'm doing this wrong.
Exactly. Non-judgment is crucial. There's this lovely metaphor used. Imagine your inner peace is like a pearl at the bottom of a pond.
Okay.
But the surface of the water, your mind, is often turbulent, stirred up, restless. You can't see the pearl clearly. Meditation is the practice of letting the water become still, calming the surface so that pearl of peace becomes visible.
I like that. The pearl at the bottom of the pond. And for you listening, maybe just try it right now. A conscious, deep breath. Let your belly expand. Slow exhale. What does that mini relaxation response feel like?
Can you feel a shift, even a small one?
That little bit of quiet. What space does that open up? Maybe for some clarity or an insight. It's simple, but powerful. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about mind traps.
Ah, yes, those cognitive patterns that keep us stuck.
Exactly. There's a great Zen story in the book that illustrates this perfectly. You know, the one, two monks, river, woman.
Oh, yeah, the classic. So two monks are traveling. They reach a river. There's a distressed woman who needs help crossing.
Right. And one monk, without saying anything, just picks her up, carries her across, puts her down on the other side.
And they walk on for hours in silence until the second monk just can't stand it anymore.
He bursts out, right. Brother, how could you carry her? We're forbidden to touch women.
And the first monk just looks at him calmly and says,
I set her down back at the river. Are you still carrying her? Boom.
Huh. It's brilliant, isn't it? It shows so clearly how we carry these mental burdens, replay events, hold on to stuff long after it's over.
So the first step is just noticing we're doing it. Awareness.
Awareness is everything. That's the first step in seeing the trap. Unlike, say, an animal caught in a physical trap, we humans can recognize our mental cages and choose a different way.
And part of that is sorting out opinion from fact.
Absolutely vital. So much suffering comes not from what actually happens, but from our negative beliefs about what happens, our interpretations.
This brings us to reframing.
Reframing, exactly. A super powerful technique for shifting perspective. Think about the classic 9-dot puzzle.
Oh yeah, connect the dots with 4 lines.
Right. You can't solve it if you stay inside the imaginary square the dots make. You have to draw lines outside the perceived box.
So reframing is thinking outside our usual mental box.
Precisely. Stepping back, looking at things differently. One way is using humor. Laughter literally changes your physiology, shifts perspective.
Makes sense. What else?
Acknowledging other viewpoints can be really helpful too. It can diffuse resistance and open up paths to maybe productive action instead of just being stuck in opposition.
Then affirmations. Do they fit in here?
Positive affirmations, yes. Using them consistently can help reprogram those unconscious negative beliefs. We also see the need for this in Peg's story in the book.
Pegs with the migraines.
That's her. Her severe migraines weren't just physical, they were rooted in years of bottled up anger. Anger from what she called personal put-downs, societal shoulds, and blame.
Ooh, that's heavy.
Very. Reframing could have helped her question those old assumptions, look at her past and her anger in a new, maybe more realistic light. It's about releasing those emotional mind traps, not carrying them like that second monk.
It really highlights the freedom in letting go. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What hot coal might you be carrying around still? From some old argument, some old belief.
Or maybe there's a situation right now you could try looking at with a bit of humor. Or just a fresh angle.
The potential shift is huge. And this idea of mental freedom, it seems closely tied to our connections with others too.
Very much so. The sources really emphasize the negative health impact of loneliness. It's quite significant.
But on the flip side,
Strong social support is incredibly important. It fosters resilience, gives us a sense of purpose, buffers stress. Connection matters deeply.
which leads, perhaps naturally, to forgiveness.
It does. And the book explains forgiveness in a really helpful way. It's not necessarily about condoning what happened or even reconciling.
It's more for yourself.
It's primarily about letting go of judgments and resentments for your own peace of mind, releasing those old grudges, those regrets. It frees you from being chained to the past.
Like that other analogy, holding on to anger is like gripping a hot coal, meaning to throw it.
Exactly. But who gets burned? The one holding it.
Powerful. And Sam's story ties into this too, right? The successful lawyer facing a terminal illness.
Sam's journey is very moving. He'd achieved a lot by society's standard success milestones, but facing his mortality, he realized none of it brought him real inner peace or meaning.
What changed for him?
Through meditation, through honest dialogue, he found these profound insights about life, love, purpose. He moved from fear to a deep acceptance of his reality, even with the illness.
So acceptance was key.
True acceptance of life, challenges and all, seems crucial for that inner peace. His story shows that even facing death, there's potential for immense spiritual and personal growth, moving towards wholeness.
Wow. Sam's story really brings it home. It kind of invites you, the listener, to think, who might you need to forgive? Not for them, but for your own peace.
Or on the connection side, how could maybe strengthening your social ties, reaching out, positively impact your well-being right now, build that resilience?
It all circles back, doesn't it?
It does. Ultimately, this whole idea of minding the body, mending the mind, it's less about curing in the narrow sense and more about achieving wholeness, a deep kind of healing.
Moving beyond just focusing on me.
Yes, shifting from just I, me, mine to seeing how we're all interconnected, part of a bigger whole.
Yeah.
Because really, without cultivating some inner peace, life feels, well, like a shadow of what it could be. Its possibilities feel limited.
So let's leave everyone with this thought then. If our beliefs truly start in the mind, but end up manifesting in the body,
Yeah.
what one belief could you choose consciously to cultivate this week? Something small, maybe, that might unlock a new level of healing or peace for yourself.
That's a great question to ponder.
Absolutely. Keep exploring this fascinating intersection of mind and body. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.